who doesn't sit here and think, what if? I myself wish that, we could have played against, the Kobe Bryants of this era. From a competitive standpoint, I think it would be a lot different. I'm a competitive guy, and I like to play against competitive players, and see what happens from there.
What's going on, YouTube? Just touching up. Usually on my channel, I only talk about boxing, but I just felt I had to get this off my chest, man. I had to make this video about this. This video is about Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant. Now, before I get into it, I'm gonna say right now, I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan. I'm the biggest Michael Jordan, one of the biggest Michael Jordan fans you'll meet. I mean, I have his authentic jersey from when he played for the Bulls, from when he played for the Wizards. I have a huge collection of his sneakers. Everything I wear is like Jordan pants, Jordan shirts, Jordan headbands. I'm just there. You get what I'm saying. I'm a huge fan of Michael Jordan. I'm not really into Kobe Bryant like that, but I do respect that he is the best player in the game at this time. Now, the conversation I'm trying to make is, people say Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time when it comes to basketball. A majority. So my thing is, isn't there a possibility that Kobe Bryant can surpass Jordan if he already isn't better than Jordan? You see what I'm saying? Because Kobe Bryant, if he surpasses Jordan's, if he played the game long enough, is there a possibility we could call him the greatest of all time? Or is that not a possibility? You see what I'm saying? People take Michael Jordan and this is what they're basically saying. He's the greatest of all time and there will be no one better than him. So basically, you're not even giving Kobe a chance. Even if he gets more rings than Michael Jordan, they're not giving Kobe a chance at all. It's like Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, just like in boxing. Majority of people, when you say who's the greatest boxer of all time, will say Muhammad Ali, even though we know we have others like Sugar Ray Robinson. But majority of people, like I'm saying, you talk to will say Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer of all time. My mom don't even watch boxing, okay? But if you ask my mom who's the greatest boxer of all time, it's more likely that she says Muhammad Ali than Sugar Ray Robinson. You get what I'm saying? Because Muhammad Ali is the name that you hear more often when it comes to boxing, greatest of all time. So, you see what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm gonna switch the subject real quick to boxing. Who's to say, and I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather Jr., but who's to say that if Muhammad Ali fought Floyd, that Floyd won't make him look stupid? Yes, Floyd's boring to watch. Yes, he's a defensive fighter. Yes, he runs around a lot and he does that shoulder roll. But that shit works. That shit wins the matches. So who's to say if he fought Muhammad Ali, if there was a possibility now, because they're two different weight classes, but if there was a possibility that they could be the same weight, who's to say if they fought that Mayweather won't make them look stupid? You know what I mean? It's like people always want to label one person as being the greatest, and it's like nobody can take their place, man. And I just don't think that shit is fair. I don't think that shit's right, man. I think Kobe Bryant's an incredible athlete, just like I think Mayweather's an incredible athlete. And I think it's a possibility that Mayweather might be the best boxer to ever step in a ring. Yes. And I'm not a fan of Mayweather, but respect that. Because he hasn't proven me wrong yet. He hasn't proven me wrong yet, man. He's fought against people that are good fighters like Marquez, and when they when they fought him, you know what I mean? When they fought him, he's made them look like totally different fighters because of his style of fighting, especially due to his smartness, his ability to adapt. You know what I mean? So anyway, I don't want to go far into boxing with it, but you get what I'm saying. When they label one person as being the greatest, it's like it gives the rest of the world, it's like no other kid has a chance of coming up. This person's going to be the greatest forever. Michael Jordan might not be the greatest forever. There might be another kid, whether it be LeBron, I don't know, whether it be Kevin Durant years to come. But right now, Kobe's the best player in the NBA. And me personally, I think Kobe's just as good as Michael Jordan. And like I said, I'm the hugest Michael Jordan fan. I think Kobe is just as good as Michael Jordan. Yes. Even without passing him in rings, I think he's just as good. I mean, you see I'm about to put, I think I need to put a highlight tape up. I'm pretty sure y'all seen it, man, where they do the crossover. They show dunks. they show the fadeaway, man. The kid does it exactly the way Jordan did it. That fadeaway, man. Yo, I don't see how Kobe's a vicious competitor. Michael Jordan's a vicious competitor. You know, the reason I thought of this subject is because, you know, 2K11 came out, which is a great game that I own, and I'm happy I got it, and I play it every day. I'm sure like everybody else is playing it, man. It's one of the best ball games ever. But you know, when I seen the commercial, what if, you know, and this commercial I really like, but it brought the subject to light because, you know, it made me think of some people, what they were saying when you think of Kobe versus Jordan, who has the better legacy. And you know, maybe Jordan does have the better legacy because, you know, he was the first one to do it. I understand that. You know, he was the first one to do it, and you know, he didn't have no dominant player like Shaquille O'Neal. I understand that. But when Shaq left, I recall people saying Kobe ain't gonna be nothing now. Shaq was carrying that team. You know, no, Shaq was his sidekick. But guess what? Shaq left him, and what happened? Kobe got more rings to put on each finger. You know what I mean? So now you're gonna make another excuse and be like, well, that's until Gasol came. That's when he started winning them other rings. Like, come on, man, stop with all the excuses. Just like boxing with Mayweather. You know what I mean? It's so many excuses. Oh, he's too old, or oh, the person he fought was way past their prime, or oh, the person he fought was too slow. Like, it's always an excuse people are making. Just give people their props. Muhammad Ali will not always be the greatest of all time, and Michael Jordan will not always be the greatest of all time, because there's a possibility in years to come, if not already, that somebody has passed them. You know what I mean? So stop making it impossible for other people. You see what I'm saying? I'm not taking sides. I'm not saying, oh, you know what I mean, Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, or oh, Kobe Bryant's the greatest of all time. I'm not taking sides. All I'm saying is give other cats a chance, respect their level of game, whether it be boxing or basketball or football, and say, yes, it's a possibility this cat could pass that person. You know what I mean? And in years to come, I'm talking decades, who's to say Kobe Bryant won't be where Michael Jordan's at and say he's the greatest of all time? You know what I mean? It's just something to think about, man. It's just something to think about. But like I said, man, MJ, he's got that great legacy. He's the first one to do it. But you know, I think Kobe Bryant, you know, he proved it, especially when Shaq left, and you know, he came back, you know, and still won championships in later years. You know, I feel Kobe's a proven athlete. I feel they're both competitors. You know, when I seen the commercial, it said, "What if, you know, what if Jordan?" Basically, Jordan was saying, "What if I played in this time period against the Kobe Bryants? I get it, the LeBrons and stuff like that." You know, and specifically, I think the commercial's aimed at Kobe. You know, that's why they said his name. You know, he said it would be different from a competitive standpoint. I don't know if he meant it would that Kobe wouldn't be winning rings like that because he would make it way more competitive, or he would have more competition because of Kobe. I wasn't sure what MJ meant. But either way, man, I mean, that's a dream match. Just like Pacquiao versus Mayweather. That's a dream match we would only hope to see. That we're not going to see. Hopefully we can see Pacquiao and Mayweather, but we're not damn sure going to see MJ versus Kobe. Because MJ come back now. I mean, he's just way past it. So, you know, it's just my thoughts on that subject. I'm like I said, me personally, I think Kobe Bryant's just as good as Michael Jordan. And yes, I'll go ahead and say this. I think I'm not sure. With boxing, it's harder to say. You see what I'm saying? Because if the fights is unpredictable sometimes. You think one person's going to win, but another person pulls an upset. With basketball, it's a set skill that each player possesses, and I think Kobe's just as good as Jordan, regardless if he hasn't surpassed him in rings yet. But with boxing, you know, I think Mayweather's one of the greatest of all times. You know what I mean? Would he have beat Muhammad Ali? Would he have beat Sugar Ray Robinson? Would he have beat what's the guy name? Greatest lightweight of all time, Roberto Duran? I don't know, but I can tell you, man, if they could have all fought at the same weight, they wouldn't have got by Mayweather easy because he's a smart motherfucker. He might talk shit, but he can back it up. He's smart. And you know, not getting away from the subject, but you know, he can think outside that ring. And you know, Kobe and Michael Jordan both have high IQs for basketball, the highest I've ever seen up to date. So, you know, just my opinions on the issue of, you know, when people label people as the greatest of all time, like nobody else can pass him. You know, it's like set, like Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, nobody's ever gonna pass him. Ever. They're just the greatest forever. You see what I'm saying? Don't make sense to me. Leave me thoughts and comments, man. You know, as always, it's been a pleasure.